structure your training kits. And this is something extremely important, and I've seen this on a lot of lash artists. The students, they get a basic, very basic kit. So for example, beginners, I do two options. It's either 2 days or 3 days. The 2 days, the way I structure the class, it's only classic, the fundamental start.
You're listening to the Full-Time Lash Artist Podcast. If you want to jumpstart your lash career, you can also watch Cosme's free lash training at www.fulltimelashartist.com. Let's grow.
Tired of doing just lash extensions? Imagine teaching others and start making more money. I will break down exactly how to become a successful lash trainer and turn your skills into a 6-figure business. Hey guys, we'll be right back to this episode in just a couple seconds. I want you to let you know that this episode is sponsored by Limit Lashes Academy and my training classes. If you are looking to start or grow your lash business, mastering your classic, volume, wispy, or any other techniques, or becoming a lash trainer, I invite you to my newest Lash Pro Masterclass. You can sign up for free by visiting www.lashpromasterclass.com. And I can't wait to see you on the other side. Now let's go back to the episode. My name is Cosmina. I'm a certified lash artist and also I'm a lash trainer. I'm going to give you a few topics that made me to become a successful lash trainer, and of course I want you to become the same. Number 1, outline the key topics. You have to come up with a training that includes both classic and volume. You also have to break down the theory part, the practicing on the mannequin, hands-on, and also Q&A for the students to ask questions. You have to make sure that you set up this every day, and of course you have to come up with a plan how many days you're going to structure the classes. And here I'm going to give you an example exactly the way I do here at Limit Lashes. So for example, beginners, I do 2 options. It's either 2 days or 3 days. The 2 days, the way I structure the class, it's only classic, the fundamental start. We start at 9, we finish around 4. So it's a full day of theory. First day, it's all about theory. Second day, it's about life model application and marketing part, which is at the end of the class. But also the way I do here, all my students that come in person, they have access to one of my online course before a couple months. As soon as they decide the dates, I send them a few email confirmations and also access to the course, so they can start watching the lessons and they can get more familiar with the process of the theory. And then as soon as they come here on the first day, we go more into the theory, and then we start the second day, the second part of the first day, we go into a practicing on the little cosmetic sponges, practicing on the hands movements, how to hold the tweezers, how to work with the correct position, how to hold your back, your angles, like basically how to start working in the correct way. And then second part of the day is the practice on the mannequin and practice on the cosmetic sponges. Second day, we're going into a life model classic application, and then last part of the second day, it's all about marketing strategies to use after the class, where you should post, where you should focus more. So basically everything about social media and marketing. So that's the way I structure my 2 days. The 3 days includes classic and volume. First day, same as the first option, they have access to the course, and then when they come here, first day we focus on the theory, and then second part of the first day we go into a practice, mannequin and cosmetic sponges, and then second day practice on the real client classic application. Second part of the second day, I structure the class with volume. We go in the theory volume, practicing on the techniques, on the volume fence. And then by the time they go home on the second day, they have to practice at home on making the fence. By the time they come on the third day, we go into practicing on the real client volume application, which is the light volume. And then last part of the third day, it's all about marketing, social media, celebration, Q&A, and things like that. So this is the way I structure my 2 and 3 days. That's why it's extremely important to come with strategies and with the topic right from the beginning. It starts at 9, it finished around 4. So this is now the second tip that I'm going to give you. Create training manuals. So the way I do here at Limit Lashes, all my students, they also have a classic manual and they also have a volume manual where they can get more information. They can go home and go through the manual, even though they have access to the course, and in the course they learn a lot more, but the manual is going to help them in the future. So for example, if you have a student that, they're going to learn everything in the class in the first day, everything is going to be still fresh, but the time they go home and they're not gonna practice for a week, for a month, for 2 months, 3 months, they're gonna forget everything. But at least they have the manual that they can always go back and watch their notes, and then they can go on the manual and get more information, more knowledge, and be familiar with everything. Another tip that I'm going to give you, structure your training kits. And this is something extremely important, and I've seen this on a lot of lash artists. The students, they get a basic, very, very basic kit. Now, in my opinion, you have to make sure that the student, as soon as they first start the class, they have to have everything in the kit, starting from lashes, all the thickness for classic. If you do volume, you have to give them the thickness, the lashes for volume. Tweezers, make sure you give them at least 2 pairs of tweezers, because you're at the beginning, you may lose the tweezer, you may break the tweezer. If you don't have a backup tweezer, what they're going to do? So in this case, what I do in my training kit, I usually give them 2 pairs of tweezers, 1 for isolation, and I give them 2 for picking the lashes. And then all the disposables, the glue, the super bonder, tweezers, lash mirror, fanning to fan the lashes, like everything that they need in order to start practicing on the model tomorrow. Obviously, one thing that before we start the class, I always explain my students what they need as soon as possible. So for example, the bed, the light, the chair are the 3 things that they need right away, literally today. And then from here, you have everything ready in the kit. I also provide my students a mannequin with the real lashes, so they can practice as many times as they want. They practice a set, they can take the lashes off and then do another set, So they have everything ready, a full kit of products, a mannequin head that they can practice, and a full manual for classic and for volume. And the last part that I'm going to explain is the certification at the end and ongoing support. Each of my students, they will get a certification of either classic or either classic and volume together. If they do the 3 days, that means they're going to get 1 certification for classic, 1 certification for a volume. And also ongoing support, it's something that every little student, every single student needs after the class, because let me explain you what's going to happen after the class. During the class, they're going to understand everything. Everything is going to be clear. You give them the most knowledge, everything that you know. But as soon as they start practicing and they're going to face the problems, that's when the questions are going to come. And how amazing is to have somebody behind you that you can always ask, hey, Cosmina, I have a client that, her retention is really bad, or one eye, the lashes doesn't stick, or my glue is not correct. even though we explain those things during the class, it's way different when you start and be in that position and face those problems. And the way I do with my students, I always tell them, you're going to have my support every single minute after the class, because I know you're going to face the problems once you leave the salon, okay? So any type of questions, I'm here to answer. Any type of questions, I'm here to help you. Or if I have students that they live around, they can always come back in person and, you know, chat with me anytime. I'm their support for life, because I remember when I started, based on my experience, when I started, I took a class with a very huge company, and I didn't have any support after the class. I started to practice in my little studio, and I was facing so many problems, like how to wipe the glue. I was wiping the glue with alcohol pads. Imagine how bad was my knowledge. And you know, all those things I tried to figure out on my own. When I came with my classes, I said, I want to make sure that every single student is going to have my support. So when they're going to face the problems, I'm there for them. This is huge. Ongoing support, Lash certification for either classic or either volume, or of course, if you do any other classes like wispy classes or trendy effects or any type of classes, you want to make sure that the student is going to get a certification at the end. And also, the way I do here, they also have a discount on the products. I do have my lash line, which is Limit Lashes. So all my students after the class, they come back, they purchase the product, or I ship them the product, and they're going to have discounts all the time on the product.
If you got a passion for lashes, let me see it. It's time to level up. If you need me to, I'll teach you my 6-figure secret. Better believe it, 'cause I believe in you. You're listening to the Full-Time Lash Artist Podcast. If you want to jumpstart your lash career, you can also watch Cosme's free lash training at www.fulltimelashartist.com. Let's grow.